Hello everybody, welcome to our first SkySlope agent training video. We're going to go over some very basic stuff today just to get you familiarized with it. We're going to go over how to log in and find your files on there, and not a whole lot else on this video. I'm going to try and keep each video nice and short so you can kind of go at your own pace and learn things at small little intervals. So let's just start out with where to find SkySlope. Well, actually, let's start with what SkySlope is, in case some of you don't know yet. We are basically just taking our paper filing system and moving it all online. So SkySlope is what we're using to do that. It's our online file storage system. So to log in there, you're just going to go to skyslope.com, and you'll see this whole screen pop up here. If you have not yet received your login, you're going to need to get that from your office administrator. They'll be able to send you an email, and they'll have a link there to set your password. So I'm just going to go ahead and click login there. And this is what your login is going to look like most of the time. It's going to say your name and then the BHHS NWRE email address. For this training video, I had to set up a different account though, so I'm going to use the long version, but you will likely be using the short one. Okay, and there we are. And it's probably a good idea here. If you're using Chrome, you're going to get something like this popping up, asking if you want to save your password. You're going to be using this a lot, so I highly recommend that. I also recommend using Google Chrome, as SkySlope is recommended for this as well. I really think it's a much better browser than Internet Explorer to begin with, but it specifically works better with SkySlope as well. So yeah, you want to probably save your password there so you know how to log in and you don't have to deal with that every time. And so this is kind of just the general dashboard, and this is what we're going to go over today in this video. You can see here I have a few statistics being tracked over here. I have one scheduled closing this month. I have one active listing, one pending, which is also the same as the scheduled. So I mean, this is just my stats. This isn't for the office. This is just for me as an agent, a fake agent in this case, but you will have actual files in there once your offices are up and running and everything. So if you want to find your files, they're going to be in here. These are pending transactions. So this is a deal I've already turned in to the office here at 456 Fake Street, and they have inputted into the system. And so this is where I would go to access it. Now there's a lot to this, so I'm going to make a separate video for how to go through the file itself. I'm just going to familiarize you with just the general navigations on this one video here. And also a really important thing to go over here is what not to do in SkySlope. We received a lot of warnings from people that use SkySlope in Berkshire Hathaway offices down in Oregon about having agents creating files while you also have admins in there working on them, and it gets to be just kind of a too many hands in the cookie jar kind of situation where you end up with duplicate files and a lot of confusion. So we're asking all of our agents not to create any files, which is actually really good news for you because it's just a whole lot of data inputting that you don't have to do now. So you're never going to want to touch this create transaction button. You're never going to want to use this create listing button. That's important. You don't want to use either of these two things here. You also, within your listings, I'll show you here, this is your managed listings, very similar to pending transactions. It's just how you access listings that haven't become deals yet. You can actually go into here and accept contract that will create a new file. We don't want you doing that either. So just instead of doing that, what you're going to do is you're going to turn in your paperwork to your office email address. I'll put the links down in the description for this video so that you know which office it is. It's basically just the name of your office. So say Burien at skyslope.com or Bellevue at skyslope.com. If us, West Seattle, and FederalWay, there's no space in between there. It's just, FederalWay at skyslope.com. So that's where you're going to send in all your documents, and your office admins will get it from there and assign it to the file, input all the data for you, and you'll just be able to access it, which is a lot better for you, and it keeps things clean for us so that accounting knows what's going on and everybody's on the same page. So that's important to remember. Don't create files. Just do less work, and it'll be okay. I think that's an easy enough sell. DigiSign over here is going to be a, say, no additional cost to you. It's an alternative to maybe AuthentiSign, or what's the other one? They have DocuSign. I'm going to do a separate tutorial for that because it's a little more in-depth, but I think it's pretty cool and easy to use. You might want to check it out. There's the incomplete checklist over here. So if I were to turn in something and maybe I don't have something in there, I would go to the incomplete listing. I say I have 2 incomplete items on my listing here. And again, we'll go over this in another video, but you can just kind of see here, I still need to turn in my earnest money, and my Form 17 didn't have the buyer signatures. So that's where you go to find out if maybe you've turned in something, but it's not quite done yet. You can go into there and check that out. Canceled contracts, this is going to be your canceled transactions and your canceled listings as well. I don't have any in here, but you can imagine. They'll just be right there. And so like say you cancel a listing and you want to go back in and look for the paperwork because you're going to relist it, you can find that in here. Access archives is going to be for your closed files. So once that's actually a good thing to point out too. You're going to see here on your pending transactions. See, it says pending right now, but if it was beyond this closing date, it would say expired, and it'd be in red letters. And some people are emailing me, hey, this isn't expired. This closed last week. Why does it say that? Well, we're going to keep it expired and not close out the file until we receive your commission check. It's just a way to make it a little easier for us to know that, we need to track it down if we don't have it yet or something like that. And tasks and reminders, I'm going to do a separate video again for that. There's some cool things you can do with that, but it's a little more in-depth than we're going to do in this video. Working documents, I might do another video on. I don't know how much people are really going to be using this, but just to point out something you can do with it now. Let me just go back and going a little too fast there. If I go into working documents and I go into up here in this office documents, I have added some documents to everybody's office. So see, I'm a West Seattle agent here, so I would click on the West Seattle. Yours is going to say whatever your office is underneath here. And these forms will all be in there. It's just a little easier way to access some commonly used PDFs if you ever need it. There's a bulk mail form, purchase and sale cover sheet, listing cover sheet, postcard requests. So you can find those there. I think they're all on BHHS Center as well, though. And so that's all I'm going to go over on this video. I'll get into the files and probably more useful stuff to you now, but I just want to do a real quick, easy video for you so we can break these up into smaller amounts and be nice and easy for everybody to digest. And if you don't have any questions or anything, I'll put some contact info down in the description as well, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I've never done these before, but so there's the first one. I'll get you the files here pretty quick. Thanks.